Your Excellency, you and I have had many conversations now on technology broadly, AI, in fact, even last night. And one of the things
we had some fantastic time.
Yeah, in fact, one of the things that has struck me is the vision that the Crown Prince, you, and everyone in the kingdom share deeply. And most importantly, I was here 6 years ago.
Indeed.
And so much has changed, so much is changing, but maybe you can ground us on the vision you have for what you're trying to achieve and what role some of this digital technology is going to play.
Before I do that, Satya, my dear friend, let me take this opportunity to fully appreciate the partnership and the friendship that we've had over the many years. And this is a very unique opportunity for us to join hands with, I would argue, one of the most remarkable leaders of the 21st century. I mean, you've been an inspiration to our youth, our women, the next generation, about how progress can be achieved by purpose and being laser focused on profitability. And I have to congratulate you. I mean, not a lot of leaders can take a company from $320 billion worth of market cap to $2.4 trillion. So that's quite remarkable. So congratulations to you for bringing talent and technology for all of humanity. And I think we owe that to you, because I've seen Satya over the past 24 hours appreciating and thanking his dream team for making it happen. But I think it's overdue that we show you the same appreciation. And let's take a step back. And then let me start off. Last night we had the pleasure of meeting His Royal Highness. This is Satya, the investment thesis that this is the most audacious success story of the 21st century. This is our opportunity to leverage our comparative advantages of being the heart of the Arab and the Muslim world, being an investment powerhouse, and the interconnecting of 3 continents to make sure that we pivot from a factor-based economy to an innovation-based economy fueled by talent and technology. And the numbers speak for themselves. Last night we had the amazing opportunity to congratulate both the women and the youth of Microsoft and the ecosystem that you touch. And we thank you for touching 77,000 folks when it comes to reskilling and upskilling. And you know what His Royal Highness said, we need to double and triple these numbers, my dear friend. But again, let's look at the numbers. We've jumped from 150,000 tech force to 350-ish right now. Mind you that the Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, sits around right now 318,000. But what's more critical is that from a qualitative perspective, we've jumped from 7% women empowerment in tech to 33.7%, surpassing sorry to say that, the Silicon Valley average, the EU average, and even the G20 average. And let's have a big round of applause for all of the amazing ladies that we have here. And also the women of Microsoft that I think you've spent quite some time. But moving on from joining hands of how we can build the capacity and the talent to safeguarding the planet, we're very pleased that we're joining hands in the net zero journey. I mean, we're very honored of the partnership that you have, for example, with SABIC, how we're taking plastics from the ocean and making sure that the mouses and the keyboards and the surfaces that we all love have 20% recycled plastics from the ocean in partnership with SABIC. And also on the Red Sea project, and His Royal Highness, you and him spoke in depth about that, preserving 90% of the environment, leveraging your AI tool, and right now, thanks to you bringing right now Azure and Copilot, how we could make sure that we safeguard the planet powered by data and technology, and how we could build not only large language models, but large world models, and how we can simulate and actuate the whole world, and potentially even large biology models. We were talking about that, how we could speed up drug discovery and make sure that the kingdom becomes a biotech hub in partnership with Microsoft. Wrapping up to shaping new frontiers. And I think, let me wrap up by thanking you again for being a leader of pushing progress, of tackling the global productivity challenge, but also genuinely have a vested interest in bringing the voice of the global south to make sure that we democratize all of these wonderful technologies for talented technology. So on behalf of the whole team, thank you so much, my dear friend, again.
No, thank you so much. It's such, I think listening to sort of your description of what you're trying to get done even as a model for how to use technology intensely to ultimately really have an impact on every citizen's life. That's, I think, what we really, really need in the world, right? One of the things that I'm grounded on, especially in the developed world, inflation adjusted, there is no economic growth. And so we need technology. But we also need to use technology broadly across all sectors. And when I see what you all are really put in motion, both in terms of the investments you're making, the policy decisions you're making, and the entrepreneurial energy that is in the kingdom, I see some fantastic future for us, and we are really deeply honored to be partnering with you. And so to me, one of the things that maybe I can even ask you is, as you sort of think about specifically any sectors of the economy that matter more to you all that you think are going to be the ones that we should really focus on?
I think we spoke about this in depth last night. If you look at it as a factor-based economy, how can we move from thermal energy leadership to green photons, electrons, hydrogen, EVs, and batteries, and how we can have the intelligent platforms powered by Azure, by Copilot, to make sure that we induce not only productivity gains, but really shift into new markets. And I think His Royal Highness laid out to you his vision about how to increase the number of trillions of dollars worth of value that we could unlock, not only for the kingdom, for the region, and for the rest of the world. So that's a very critical cornerstone for us. Secondly, the amazing job that you're already doing with our healthcare sector. You've mentioned about King Faisal Specialist Hospital, and I take huge pride under the leadership of His Excellency the Minister of Health that we have the largest virtual hospital. And that's, I think, a unique opportunity where we can take some of the use cases that we have addressed, for example, door to needle for stroke patients, where we're able to reduce the time to inject and operate surgically or medically from 45 minutes to 30 minutes. I think these are the specific bespoke use cases that we could really put them on steroids, no pun intended for the healthcare community. But again, how can Copilot help us with drug formulation discovery? How we could help with genome sequencing? Those are critical components. So how could Riyadh become the wellness, the healthcare hub? That's very critical. The last piece that I want to mention is that this whole financial sector, fintech is huge. Today we celebrated yet another unicorn this morning in that space. And again, it shows you how talent and technology can come together. But right now with the democratization of AI that you're bringing to the whole world and to the kingdom with your intelligent platforms, the sky's the limit.
It's fantastic to see that, because to me, that's our real mission, is to be able to bring this world-class technology, but to really help in every sector of the economy.
Indeed.
World-class technology getting built right here, but for not only the kingdom, but for the world. To your point about celebrating the unicorns that are born here, they're of course going to be very successful in the kingdom, in the region, but worldwide. And I think that that's, to me, the next, who knows, the next trillion-dollar tech company can be from right here because of what you all are doing, what we will bring to the table. And so I really look forward to this partnership. Thank you very, very much for everything that you're doing. And I really look forward to coming back more often to see the progress we make.
Thank you, Satya, my dear friend. And I think since we have this wonderful set of audience, I think let's wrap up with hearing, what are your advices? You've been around right now meeting customers, partners, friends. You met His Royal Highness. If there are a few advices that you want to share with the kingdom as you reflect on where Microsoft is in our partnership, and how could we evolve with this AI democratization to the next era? Any last advice that you share with us?
Yeah, I mean, to me, and I mentioned this yesterday, and we had a conversation about this. One of the things that I've studied deeply, having grown up in the global South and then gone to the United States, I've always sort of felt, what are some of those key moments in history where countries, because of a right set of policies, the right curiosity, get ahead. So the Industrial Revolution and what happened in Europe, obviously, was when a lot of interesting things changed. And there's an economist at Dartmouth who did this longitudinal study of the Industrial Revolution and sort of came to the following conclusion, that any country that was able to import the best technology and using that technology intensely build more technology got ahead. In there lies, I think, the simple formula for all of us, quite frankly, because in some sense you don't want to recreate the wheel, you want to be able to have access to the best AI training cluster, to the best AI inferencing, the best tools, right? That unicorn that we are celebrating out of Riyadh today, I'm sure, is using GitHub and GitHub Copilot. And that ability to be part of what is best in class in the world always. And then to create best-in-class work out of that. That, I think, is the thing. And the only way I always say is you learn by doing, not by talking. And so, therefore, I think anything that we can do to push forward by adopting technology and creating technology is one virtuous loop as leaders, I think, and that's really, quite honestly, I walk away from here inspired by the change I have seen in the last 6 years. Because you are not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk in a major, major way. And I think that this beacon, you will be the beacon of what I think is a new development model, how not only in the region, but for the world over. So I'm really excited about it.
Well, Satya, in a true Saudi fashion, we share with you that once we partner for a lifetime. So thank you so much, my dear friend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.